You spray it, close the door, and trust it to do its job. But that oven cleaner sitting under your sink could be silently poisoning your air and your lungs. For seniors, the chemicals in these products don't just clean grease. They can trigger breathing problems, burn skin, and worsen heart conditions. Today, we're exposing 9 oven cleaners you need to avoid and the 2 that are actually safe. Coming in at number 9, we've got Easy Off Fume-Free Oven Cleaner. The name says fume-free. The label promises a safer, gentler clean. It sits on store shelves right next to the harsh chemical versions, positioning itself as the responsible choice. The packaging even shows a family smiling in a bright kitchen. But here's what they don't tell you. This product still contains 2-butoxyethanol, a chemical linked to respiratory irritation and liver damage with repeated exposure. The Environmental Working Group rates this cleaner a D, one of the worst scores for household safety. That rating exists for a reason. Independent laboratories tested this product and found it wanting. For seniors with asthma, COPD, or anyone on blood pressure medication, inhaling even trace amounts of these chemicals can aggravate existing conditions. Your lungs are already working hard. Your medications are carefully calibrated by doctors who understand your specific health profile. And here comes a chemical compound disrupting that delicate balance. The so-called fume-free promise? It just means you won't smell the danger as strongly. But the chemical residue remains on oven surfaces, releasing low-level fumes every time you preheat. The danger hasn't disappeared. It's just been made invisible. You can't see it. You can't smell it. But your body still absorbs it. Picture this. You're baking cookies for your grandchildren. The kitchen fills with that warm, comforting smell of fresh-baked goods. The grandkids are excited, peeking through the oven window. The house feels alive with family and love. But mixed into that familiar aroma is chemical off-gassing you can't even detect. Invisible toxins circulating through your kitchen while your family gathers around. Every time that oven heats up, residual chemicals volatilize into the air. You're not just baking cookies, you're releasing a cocktail of compounds into your breathing space. Into their breathing space. Easy Off promises convenience and safety, but the reality is a product that trades immediate fumes for long-term, hidden exposure. Seniors who spend more time at home, cooking daily, face cumulative risks that younger users simply don't experience. You use your oven 3, 4, 5 times a week. Each use adds to the exposure. Each preheat cycle becomes another dose of chemical contact. The exposure builds silently over months and years. And here's something that should concern everyone. According to the American Association of Poison Control Centers, oven cleaners are responsible for over 3,000 emergency calls per year in the United States alone. Many of those involve seniors who trusted a product labeled safe. The betrayal here isn't just chemical, it's a broken promise printed right on the can. You trusted a label. That label lied by omission, and that lie could be costing you your health. At number 8, we have Mr. Muscle Oven and Grill Cleaner. This one has been a household name for decades. Your mother probably used it. Your grandmother too. Generation after generation, trusting the same brand. The muscular mascot on the label implies power and reliability. Strength you can trust, a superhero for your kitchen. But what they don't advertise is the sodium hydroxide lurking inside, also known as lye. Lye is one of the most caustic substances you can bring into your home. It dissolves grease with brutal efficiency, but it also dissolves skin on contact. That's not an exaggeration. That's basic chemistry. That's fact. For seniors with thinner, more fragile skin, something that happens naturally as we age regardless of how well we've taken care of ourselves, even a small splash can cause chemical burns that take weeks to heal. The skin of a 65-year-old is fundamentally different from the skin of a 30-year-old. It's more permeable, more vulnerable, less able to protect itself from chemical assault. The protective layers have thinned. And if you're on blood thinners, medications millions of seniors take daily for heart conditions and stroke prevention, a burn injury becomes far more serious. Wounds bleed longer. They don't clot properly. Infections set in easier because the healing process is compromised. A minor kitchen accident becomes a medical situation requiring professional attention. What should be a simple bandage becomes a doctor's visit. The product warns you to wear gloves. It's right there on the label, in small print that requires reading glasses to see. But how many people actually read the fine print on a product they've used for 20 years? That's exactly what they're counting on. Your familiarity, your trust, your assumption that a product sold for decades must be safe enough. They've weaponized your loyalty against you. And even with gloves, the fumes from sodium hydroxide are dangerous. They don't need skin contact to harm you. They irritate the throat, inflame the lungs, and can trigger coughing fits that strain the heart. For seniors with congestive heart failure or arrhythmias, You don't need that kind of stress on your cardiovascular system. Your heart is already working under pressure. Adding chemical irritation to your respiratory system creates strain that travels throughout your body. The promise of Mr. Muscle is effortless cleaning. The reality is a product so corrosive that emergency rooms treat lye burns as serious chemical injuries. One study published in the Journal of Burn Care and Research found that alkaline burns from household cleaners like lye are among the most difficult to treat because the chemical keeps damaging tissue even after you wash it off. Water doesn't neutralize it. Soap doesn't stop it. The damage continues for hours, burrowing deeper into tissue. Doctors have to use specialized treatments to halt the process. That greasy oven might look sparkling clean, but the cost to your health could be far greater than the grime you're trying to remove. Now at number 7, we've got Zepp Heavy Duty Oven and Grill Cleaner. Zepp markets itself as the professional's choice. Walk into any restaurant supply store and you'll see their products lining the shelves. Commercial kitchens across America rely on their industrial-strength formulas. The marketing promises to cut through the toughest baked-on messes. Years of neglected grease, gone in minutes. The kind of cleaning power you see in restaurants. But professional-grade chemicals come with professional-grade risks. This product contains monoethanolamine, a compound that the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health has specifically flagged for causing severe respiratory irritation. That's a federal agency telling you this chemical is dangerous to breathe. In well-ventilated commercial kitchens with industrial exhaust systems, trained workers might handle this safely. They have hoods that pull thousands of cubic feet of air per minute. They have protective equipment issued by their employers. They have training protocols and safety meetings. They have OSHA inspectors checking in. But in your home kitchen, with a small window and a ceiling fan that barely moves the air, you're breathing concentrated fumes in an enclosed space. The chemical smell is sharp, almost metallic. It clings to the back of your throat like a warning you can taste. Your eyes start to water before you've even finished spraying. Your body is telling you something is wrong. For seniors with reduced lung capacity, something that naturally occurs with age even in the healthiest individuals, this exposure is magnified significantly. Your lungs at 70 are not your lungs at 40. They can't clear the irritants as efficiently as they once could. The cilia that sweep particles out of your airways have slowed down with each passing year. The coughing starts almost immediately. The wheezing follows close behind. And for anyone managing chronic bronchitis or emphysema, a single cleaning session can trigger a flare-up that lasts for days, sometimes weeks. One afternoon of cleaning leads to nights of interrupted sleep, days of struggling to breathe, trips to the pharmacy for rescue inhalers. The label tells you to ventilate the area. Sound advice on paper. But what does that really mean in a small apartment kitchen in January when opening windows means letting in freezing air? What about someone living in Arizona in July, where turning off the air conditioning means risking heat stroke? What about seniors with mobility issues who can't easily move to another room while waiting for fumes to clear? What about someone in a basement apartment with no windows at all? Zepp promises professional results. What they don't mention is that professionals work under conditions most home users can't replicate. Industrial ventilation, protective gear, safety training, exposure limits monitored by OSHA. The safety instructions assume you have resources you probably don't. That gap between promise and reality is where seniors get hurt. Number 6 is Goo Gone Oven and Grill Cleaner. Goo Gone built its reputation on removing sticky residues. Their original product became famous for taking off price stickers and adhesive residue without damaging surfaces. A household problem solver. The friendly orange branding suggests something citrus-based and natural, wholesome even. The bottle practically looks like it belongs in a farmer's market alongside fresh squeezed juice. But flip the bottle over and read the ingredients list carefully. Buried in that list, you'll find petroleum distillates, industrial solvents derived from crude oil, the same crude oil that powers your car and heats your home. These compounds are effective degreasers, no doubt. They're also neurotoxins with prolonged exposure. That's not fear-mongering. That's what the safety data sheets say. For seniors, the concern isn't just a single use that you might walk away from unaffected. It's years of accumulated exposure in poorly ventilated kitchens. Think about how long you've been using cleaning products. Decades, most likely. A lifetime of exposure. Petroleum distillates absorb through the skin and accumulate in fatty tissues, including the brain. Your brain is largely made of fat. These chemicals have an affinity for it. They seek it out. Studies have linked chronic exposure to memory problems, confusion, and difficulty concentrating. Symptoms that can easily be mistaken for normal aging. Symptoms that can be confused with early dementia. symptoms your doctor might attribute to getting older. Imagine blaming yourself for forgetfulness when the real culprit is the cleaner you've been using for decades. Imagine thinking you're experiencing cognitive decline when it's actually chemical poisoning from your own kitchen cabinet. The betrayal is insidious. Goo doesn't smell dangerous. It smells like oranges. That bright, cheerful citrus scent fills your kitchen with what feels like cleanliness. But that's a fragrance masking agent, not an indication of safety. The pleasant smell lulls you into complacency while the petroleum solvents do their silent damage. You let your guard down because your nose tells you everything is fine. Your senses have been hijacked by clever chemistry. For seniors managing cognitive health, especially those with a family history of Alzheimer's or dementia, adding unnecessary chemical exposure is a gamble with terrible odds. You already worry about your memory. You already fear what the future might hold. According to researchers at the University of California, household chemical exposure may account for up to 10% of dementia cases in older adults. 1 in 10 cases potentially linked to the products under your sink. The product promises to cut through grime effortlessly. What it doesn't promise is protecting your brain while it does so. That citrus scent? It's the smell of betrayal. A carefully engineered deception designed to make you feel safe while you're being harmed. Marketing genius that doubles as a health hazard. Why do you think the same companies selling us safe cleaners are the ones using ingredients banned in other countries? Drop your thoughts in the comments. At number 5, we're looking at Carbona 2-in-1 Oven Rack and Grill Cleaner. This product promises a specialized solution for those hard-to-clean oven racks. Anyone who's ever tried to scrub a blackened oven rack knows the frustration. Hours of scrubbing, steel wool that leaves scratches, results that never quite satisfy. The convenience of a bag-and-soak system seems like a dream come true. Just seal the racks in the bag, add the solution, and let chemistry do the work while you relax. No scrubbing, no effort, no elbow grease required. Just seal, wait, and wipe clean. But the active ingredient is sodium metasilicate, a highly alkaline compound that causes severe irritation to skin, eyes, and respiratory passages. The instructions tell you to seal the racks in a plastic bag with the solution. Seems straightforward enough, simple enough for anyone to follow. But what happens when you open that bag after the soaking is complete? A concentrated burst of alkaline vapor hits you directly in the face. The chemical cloud is invisible, but you feel it immediately and unmistakably. Your eyes sting like someone threw sand in them. Your throat tightens. Your nose burns with an intensity that makes you gasp. The inside of your mouth tastes metallic, all in the span of a single breath. One moment of exposure can feel like an assault. For seniors with glaucoma or macular degeneration, conditions that already compromise vision and require careful management, chemical exposure to the eyes can accelerate damage significantly. Your eyes are already vulnerable. They're already fighting deterioration that comes with age. Adding caustic chemical exposure is like pouring gasoline on a fire. The irritation can linger for hours, the damage can be permanent. And the respiratory hit from opening that bag is no minor irritation to shake off. It's a direct assault on mucous membranes that can trigger inflammation lasting for hours or even days. If you're managing respiratory conditions, this single moment of exposure can set back weeks of carefully managed health. The product assumes you'll handle it perfectly, that you'll hold your breath at the exact right moment, that you'll turn away quickly enough, that you'll ventilate immediately after opening, that your reflexes will be sharp enough to protect yourself. But accidents happen. Bags tear unexpectedly. Solutions splash when you don't expect them to. Your grip isn't what it used to be. And seniors with arthritis or limited mobility may not be able to react quickly enough to avoid exposure. Your fingers don't grip as tightly as they used to. Your reflexes have slowed over the years. The bag slips from your grasp, the solution spills across your hands and counter, and suddenly you're dealing with a chemical emergency in your kitchen. Carbona promises effortless cleaning. The fine print reveals a process that requires careful handling most home users aren't equipped for. The gap between marketing and reality is where chemical injuries occur. If this helps you stay safer at home, hit subscribe. It's free, and it means you'll never miss these exposés. Number 4 on our list is Crude Cutter, Original Concentrated Cleaner. The name alone suggests aggressive chemical action. Crude Cutter. It sounds like it could dissolve steel, the kind of name that promises to obliterate whatever mess you're facing. The marketing positions it as the solution for the worst messes imaginable, the stuff other cleaners can't touch. Years of accumulated grime, impossible stains. But the concentrated formula contains ethylene glycol monobutyl ether, a solvent that penetrates skin rapidly and enters the bloodstream. It doesn't wait at the surface. It doesn't need broken skin to enter your body. It drives through intact skin, seeking your internal systems. Once absorbed through your skin, it travels to the liver and kidneys, where it's metabolized into compounds that can cause organ damage over time. These aren't theoretical concerns from laboratory speculation. These are documented medical effects observed in workers with occupational exposure, real people with real health problems caused by real chemicals. For seniors already managing kidney disease or taking medications that stress the liver, this additional chemical burden is genuinely dangerous. Your organs are already working hard to process your daily medications. Many seniors take multiple medications, each one processed through the liver or kidneys. Adding a toxic solvent to the mix pushes those organs harder than they can safely handle. You're asking them to do more than they can deliver. And the problem with concentrated formulas is user error. Human nature working against us. The instructions say to dilute before use. Mix 1 part cleaner with 10 parts water. Follow the ratios precisely. But how many people actually measure carefully? How many people pull out a measuring cup for their cleaning products? Who keeps track of exact proportions when they're just trying to clean an oven? A slightly stronger mixture means greater skin absorption and higher internal exposure. You think you're saving time by using it full strength, or maybe just a bit stronger than recommended for tough spots. Instead, you're flooding your body with chemicals it wasn't designed to handle. The product promises to eliminate stubborn grime. What it doesn't mention is the price your organs might pay for that clean oven. Seniors often have no idea their fatigue, nausea, or declining kidney function is connected to household chemical exposure. The symptoms are too vague, too easily attributed to aging itself, too common to raise alarm. You tell your doctor you're tired all the time. You mention the nausea that comes and goes. Your numbers look concerning on the blood work, but nobody thinks to ask what cleaning products you use. According to the National Kidney Foundation, an estimated 37 million Americans have chronic kidney disease, and many don't even know it. Chemical exposure from household products can accelerate decline in people already at risk. Crude Cutter works powerfully. But power without safety is just another word for danger. Don't go yet. The solution comes at the very end, and it could change how you clean forever. Most people never learn this, but you will. Coming in at number 3, we have Method Heavy Duty Degreaser. Method has cultivated an image of eco-friendly, plant-based cleaning. Walk through Target and their products practically glow with virtue. They're displayed prominently in the cleaning aisle, often at eye level. The sleek packaging looks like something from a design museum. The green marketing suggests a product you can trust. Gentle on the earth. Gentle on you. Safe for your family. The bottles are beautiful. The colors are soft and reassuring. The messaging makes you feel good about your purchase. You're not just cleaning, you're making an ethical choice. But independent testing tells a different story entirely. The Environmental Working Group gave this product a D rating due to concerns about respiratory irritation and skin sensitization. That's the same grade as some of the harshest conventional cleaners on the market. The plant-derived ingredients include compounds that, while technically natural in origin, still pose significant health risks. Citric acid and decyl glucoside may sound gentle. They come from plants, after all. How harmful could they be? But in concentrated form, they irritate airways and can trigger allergic reactions, especially in seniors with compromised immune systems. Natural does not automatically mean harmless. Chemistry doesn't care about marketing claims. The betrayal here is subtle but profound. Method doesn't lie outright. They never make false claims about their ingredients. They just let you assume plant-based means safe. It doesn't. Poison ivy is plant-based too. Arsenic occurs naturally in the earth. Hemlock is completely natural and will kill you dead. What matters is concentration, exposure, and individual vulnerability, not marketing language designed to make you feel good about your purchase, not beautiful packaging that suggests purity. The word natural has no legal definition when it comes to cleaning products. It's pure marketing dressed up as science. Seniors who switch to Method thinking they're making a healthier choice may actually be trading one set of risks for another. The eco-friendly branding creates a false sense of security that changes behavior. You let your guard down completely. You skip the gloves because the product seems gentle. You don't ventilate as carefully because there's no harsh chemical smell to warn you. And that's when the cumulative exposure builds up unnoticed. Studies show that people using green-labeled products use them more frequently and with fewer protective measures. They spray more liberally. They breathe more deeply. They handle products with bare hands. The false sense of safety becomes the real danger. Method promises a cleaner clean, but the promise of safety is more marketing than reality. At number 2, we're exposing Vyman Oven and Grill Cleaner. Vyman is a trusted name in specialty cleaning products with decades of history. They've been around since 1941. Their stainless steel cleaners and glass cooktop solutions sit in kitchens across America. People know the brand. People trust the brand. Their oven cleaner promises professional results without the harsh fumes that make your eyes water. A cleaner you can use without opening every window in the house. Sounds perfect. But the formula contains diethanolamine, a compound classified as a possible human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. That's a global health authority flagging this ingredient as potentially cancer-causing. For seniors, cancer risk isn't an abstract statistic on a research paper. It's not a number to be dismissed. It's a real fear backed by decades of life experience. You've watched friends battle this disease. You've sat in waiting rooms during treatment sessions, watching the clock and worrying. You've held hands during chemotherapy, trying to offer comfort when there's none to give. You've attended funerals for people who should have had more time. Adding any unnecessary carcinogenic exposure feels like gambling with your future, rolling dice when you don't have to, taking risks that could have been avoided. And diethanolamine doesn't just pose cancer risks on its own. It reacts with other chemicals commonly found in kitchens, like nitrites and food residues, to form nitrosamines. These are compounds even more strongly linked to cancer than the original ingredient. Your oven is a reaction chamber whether you realize it or not. High heat, residual food particles, chemical cleaners. The chemicals you spray interact with the food residues you're trying to remove. The heat activates reactions you never intended and didn't anticipate. The results aren't always predictable. They're certainly not safe. Vyman promises a sparkling oven that looks brand new. What they don't mention is the invisible chemical reactions happening on those hot surfaces, or the long-term health implications of repeated exposure year after year. Every time you clean, you're conducting a chemistry experiment in your kitchen, an experiment with unknown variables and unmeasured risks, an experiment you never signed up for. The product works beautifully. Your oven gleams like the day you bought it. But at what cost? How many uses does it take before the exposure matters? How many cleanings before the cumulative effect tips into danger? Nobody can answer that question with certainty. And that uncertainty is exactly the problem. Do you think these companies actually test their products on people our age? Or are we just an afterthought when it comes to safety? Let me know what you think below. And the worst offender at number 1 is Easy Off Professional Fume-Free Max Oven Cleaner. This is the upgraded version of the product we discussed earlier, and somehow it's even more concerning. The Max formula, maximum strength, maximum cleaning power. The marketing suggests this is the ultimate solution for the dirtiest ovens, the nuclear option for kitchen grime. But maximum power means maximum risk. The formula is more concentrated, meaning higher levels of the same dangerous chemicals we already warned you about. The 2-butoxyethanol content is increased for what they call maximum cleaning power. More chemical, more danger. Simple math, straightforward risk. This product has received thousands of complaints on consumer review sites. Real people sharing real experiences that the company would rather you didn't see. Users report headaches, dizziness, and throat irritation even when following all safety instructions to the letter. They wore gloves as directed. They opened windows for ventilation. They followed every precaution on the label precisely, and still, they suffered. The symptoms start within minutes of application, sometimes seconds. Your head pounds with pressure. The room seems to spin around you. Your throat feels like it's closing, making each breath a struggle. These aren't rare side effects happening to unusually sensitive people with pre-existing conditions. They're common experiences shared by countless users across the country. For seniors, these symptoms aren't just uncomfortable or inconvenient. They can be dangerous, life-threatening even. Dizziness increases fall risk dramatically. Falls are the leading cause of injury death in adults over 65, according to the CDC. Every year, falls cause approximately 36,000 deaths among older adults. More than car accidents, more than any other type of injury, more than many diseases combined. A simple cleaning session could end with a trip to the emergency room, a broken hip that requires surgery, a head injury with lasting consequences, or worse outcomes we don't want to contemplate, all because you wanted a clean oven. And the headaches from chemical exposure aren't ordinary headaches. They're not tension headaches from stress or dehydration headaches from not drinking enough water. They're your brain signaling that something toxic has entered your system, your body's alarm system screaming at you to stop what you're doing. Ignoring that warning means continued exposure, continued damage, continued risk. Your body is trying to protect you with the only tool it has. But the job isn't done, so you keep going. You push through the discomfort because you want to finish what you started, because you've always finished what you started. Easy Off promises their professional formula is still safe for home use, but professional cleaners use industrial ventilation systems that move thousands of cubic feet of air per minute. They use personal protective equipment designed for chemical handling: respirators, chemical-resistant gloves, protective eyewear, sometimes full face shields. They're trained to handle hazardous materials. They understand the risks and take measured precautions. They know exactly how long they can work before exposure becomes dangerous. You're standing in your kitchen in your slippers and a bathrobe, trusting a label that prioritizes sales over safety. The betrayal of trust is complete. Product that promises to make your oven spotless could make your health worse. And for seniors who've trusted this brand for decades, that betrayal cuts deep. Stay with me. We've seen the dangers, but the safe alternatives are coming right now. What you're about to learn could protect your health for years to come. The first safe option: Branch Basics Concentrate. This cleaning concentrate uses only plant-derived ingredients with no synthetic fragrances, no petrochemicals, and no respiratory irritants. It's rated A by the Environmental Working Group, one of the highest safety scores available in their entire database. That's the opposite end of the spectrum from everything we've discussed today. For seniors with asthma, COPD, or chemical sensitivities, Branch Basics offers effective cleaning without the toxic exposure. The formula is gentle enough that you can skip the gloves for light cleaning tasks, and there's no ventilation panic when you open the bottle. No need to hold your breath, no need to rush to open windows, no need to clear the room. It's the rare product that actually delivers on its safety promises without sacrificing cleaning power. Your kitchen will smell clean, just clean. Not chemical clean, not fake citrus clean masking something sinister. Actually clean, the way clean is supposed to smell. The second safe option: Aunt Fanny's Cleaning Vinegar. Made from fermented corn and free of synthetic chemicals, this vinegar-based cleaner cuts through grease without caustic fumes or skin-burning alkalines. It smells like vinegar because it is vinegar. No masking agents, no fragrance deception, no tricks, just honest, effective cleaning that's been trusted for generations. It's safe for seniors on blood thinners, kidney medications, or heart drugs because there's nothing in the formula that interacts with pharmaceutical compounds. Your medications can do their job without chemical interference. The Environmental Working Group gives it an A rating, and it's one of the few oven cleaners you can use without worrying about long-term health effects. For stubborn baked-on messes, a longer soak time replaces harsh chemicals. Let it sit for 20 minutes instead of 5. Patience over poison. Your health is worth the extra time. Your future is worth the wait. A few extra minutes of soaking versus years of potential health problems. The math makes sense. Your oven shouldn't cost you your health. The products you trust should actually deserve that trust. Now you know which ones don't and which ones do. Subscribe now, and if you're watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.